action. That's what my producer says, Jackson, and this is how we welcome you to Talk Sport on Global Television. My name is Anthony Momodi, King of Sport, and I'm ready alongside my co-host, Odi Samuel, as we are good to go with all the big stories making the rounds. Sunday, just smiling.
Yeah, it's always amazing to be here with you guys talking sport, and it's a beautiful day in the city capital, and we're here to bring you juicy stories from the world of football, boxing, and tennis. So you just join us on this ride.
All right, it's going to definitely be a very exciting ride as we look at the Super Eagles of Nigeria getting set to play face the Eagles of Mali. It's a second audition for the interim coach in the person of Finidi George. His nickname Finito when he played in Spain. So the Super Eagles will be trading tackles with the Eagles of Mali in Marrakesh in Morocco. So we'll be looking at what that portends for the Super Eagles, and especially the fact that we've got some players already injured. Then we'll be looking at the mixed martial art fighters who brought home an impressive haul of 4 medals, 1 gold, 1 silver, 2 bronze medals at the All-African Games. And we'll also be looking at our darling Super Falcons, who have been invited as a guest set for another qualifier. We'll be looking at other interesting stories like Dani Alves, former Barcelona defense marshal, and who also played for Brazil. He finally walks out of prison after paying 1 million euros. We'll be looking at that very big story. And Manu, one Black Star, lost to the 3 Lions of England. We'll be looking at that story, what it means, and other big stories in the world of sport, not forgetting tennis, where Andy Murray has been dumped out of the Miami Open. And we'll be looking at the other interesting sports like Formula One, where Toto Wolff, the manager or chieftain of Mercedes, will be missing the Japanese Grand Prix. These and other big stories as well we'll be looking at, but we'll start from where it matters most. Home sweet home. Let's begin from the mixed martial art, where the mixed martial art fighters brought home an impressive haul of 4 medals, 1 gold, 1 silver, and 2 bronze medals. 4 members of the Nigerian Mixed Martial Arts Federation returned home to a hero's welcome after completing the 13th African Games held in Accra, Ghana. The NMAAF board, in a statement issued, said it was thrilled to congratulate Team Nigeria for their outstanding performance at the Games, where MMA was featured as a demonstration sport. Team Nigeria's MMA fighters brought home an impressive haul of medals, and yes, those are the President and Vice President, Extreme Board, and the Secretary General, fans, and aspiring MMA talents nationwide were also appreciated for the work done. Let's look at the mixed martial arts. We've seen it in Europe, a very big sport, UFC. For Nigeria, do you think we're doing quite well enough, looking at the time frame which Nigeria got involved in mixed martial arts?
It's better late than never, they say. It's actually good that we finally have adopted the sport, and our internationals, our Nigerian internationals, are actually in the
talking about Kamaru Usman, Israel
Adesanya. They are actually doing so well. And then these boys are now MMA fighters. They did so well at the All-African Games, just this concluded All-African Games. So with these qualities that we have, and them representing for the first time, and then getting us this results, this haul of medals. So it shows that the future is just getting brighter. And then these MMA fighters are actually, putting their name out there. And again, definitely they will strive to, get bigger competitions, strive to get, more medals when the competition and occasions arises. So looking forward now, definitely they'll also be trying to explore, international and European fights.
All right, we wish them, the MMA, more success in the coming days. Let's talk about our darling Super Eagles. Yes, it's Super Eagles versus the Eagles of Mali. And definitely Georgia seeks a second win with the Super Eagles. That's a big story there. Talking about the Super Eagles, let's let you know that the former World Cup star, Finidi George, has reiterated his objective of securing a win in all 2 matches for which he has been selected to take interim charge of the Nigerian team in this international window ahead of the clash with Legres of Mali in Marrakesh. The 2 West African teams clash in a night game at the Grand Stade de Marrakesh, where the 3-time African champions, the Super Eagles of Nigeria, put up a show to defeat arch rivals Ghana 2-1 on Friday. Finidi George must now do without a defender, Calvin Bassey, and the horsepower midfielder Frank Onyeka, who are injured and will not be part of tonight's assemble against the 1972 AFCON runners-up. Already, the Super Eagles have been highly stronger by the absence of key men like forward Victor Osimhen, Victor Boniface, and defenders like William Trost-Ekong, Ola Aino, and Zaidu Sanusi. Defenders Gabriel Osho, Tyrone Ebuehe, and forward Taiwo Awoniyi also had to pull out because of injuries. Yet the former Ajax Amsterdam and Real Betis winger is upbeat that those who deemed the Black Stars will also fly above the other Eagles. Accidentally, the last of Finidi George's 62 caps for Nigeria came against the Eagles of Mali. The Gazelle was involved when, on the 9th of February 2002, the Super Eagles had pipped host nation Mali in the city of Mopti 1-0 to win the bronze medals of the 23rd African Cup of Nations. Mali signaled their readiness for this encounter with a 2-0 spanking of Mauritania, also in Morocco on Friday. Absences and injuries and judges' avowed intention not to overload players could see goalkeeper Olorunleke Ojo and defenders Kenneth Omeruo and Jamilu Collins, midfielders Al Hassan Yusuf, and forward Nathan Tella, Sadiq Umar, and Fisayo Dele Bashiru assume prominence in the counter against the Eagles. Let's look at this very interesting. Yes, the Super Eagles have got injuries, but it's a chance for Nathan Tella, Sadiq Umar, and Bashiru to have a shot at the Super Eagles. Jamilu Collins, we know he's always been good with the Super Eagles until he got ousted by Zaidu, who is now injured. And I think another exciting thing, Olorunleke Ojo, who will be standing in between the sticks for Nwabali. What does this mean for these players who are going to get a chance to stake a claim for the Super Eagles?
You know, it's an opportunity for them to say, okay, we deserve a place, we want a place here. Obviously, they want a place with the Super Eagles. So there's a point for them to prove, like, okay, how much do you really want it? Because now they're putting through a test. You know, this is going to determine if they will get a call-up, if they will get to, qualify, go with Super Eagles to play any competition that will be coming up. So this is a platform for them to, deliver and show that, yes, even if these guys are not around, we will be able to do the job. We suffered during the AFCON because of some of our players who, most of them who are injured, they couldn't readily, and then they had to play, through injuries. That's why we are actually facing this at this point. So if these players can perform properly, obviously, Finidi George and the entire team, Super Eagles team, will be rest assured that, yes, if I don't have these guys on the ground playing, I have a second 11 that can also perform and then give me that same result that I'm looking for. So that is the essence now, and that's where these guys are coming in to be able to prove themselves that, yes, we deserve to be here. If they feel they deserve to be here, they need to put in the work and then let us see. And giving us a second win, back-to-back win from after the game with Ghana, then we should get another win. So they are meant to perform, and then with their performance now, that will determine if they will get a jersey, because they are just wearing a ball.
Let's look at the goalkeeping department, where Nwabali's place will be up for grabs for Olorunleke, and also we know that Francis Ozoho, who used to be number one, has dropped already. How important is this game for Olorunleke to stake a claim to be the second choice goalkeeper of the Super Eagles?
It's just all about you showing how much you want it and then not giving room for slight errors. If you see what Nwabali does, he banks orders at his defenders, get them in shape, get them to do the right thing. That is the kind of goalkeeper we want. Nwabali is doing it. If Olorunleke wants to be, second choice goalkeeper, he should, pick a page out of Nwabali's book and then infuse it to what he knows already, and then that would, give him an upper hand to be the second choice goalkeeper. All
right, let's look at the striking force. We've got Sadiq Umar, who we know has been hot like fire for the La Liga League.
Yes.
Amira, how much pressure would Sadiq, yes, this is not the first time he's playing for the Super Eagles, but how much pressure is he going to be under, especially when Cyril did score the winning goal against the Black Stars of Ghana, for him to, stake a claim to say, okay, I'm going to be the third top choice, number 9 for the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Yeah, Cyril actually played amazingly well, because before he scored,
there was like three
good attempts that went straight to the post. They were on target. Yeah. So it was just the goalkeeper was able to, he didn't even get to save it properly. He was just
paraded the ball out.
And then, defenders now helped him. So if Sadiq wants that, he knows he has seen the likes of Victor Osimhen, he has seen Cyril, the kind of performance that they bring, and then he needs to do more to show like, okay, yes, I deserve to be here. I want that jersey as well. Now, it seems to me, I feel the whole positions in the Super Eagles is actually vacant right now, because I'm sure Vinny George has some kind of things he wants to do separately and differently. So anybody playing, given an opportunity to play, needs to play his best so that he will have a place in the Super Eagles team.
All right, we're wishing our darling Super Eagles the very best of luck as they look at taking on the Eagles of Mali tonight in a very, very tasty tie in Marrakesh in Morocco. But some big story did tell us that Moses Simon, Al Hassan Yusuf, Umar Sedek are in line to start for the Super Eagles friendly against Mali today. Meanwhile, Simon was a late substitute in the Super Eagles 2-1 win against the Black Stars of Ghana last week, while Yusuf and Sadiq remained on the bench for the entire duration of the game. Meanwhile, non-star Simon can also play as a wing-back, which would help him earn a starting berth in case interim head coach Finidi George opts to go with a 3-5-2 formation he used against the Black Stars of Ghana. Meanwhile, Moses Simon, Al Hassan Yusuf, Umar Sadiq are in line to start for the Super Eagles, and let's see how that is going to pan out in today's game. Meanwhile, we know that Yusuf is expected to come into the starting lineup for injured Frank Onyeka. Onyeka sustained an injury against Ghana and has returned to his club, Brentford. That's talking about Frank Onyeka. Meanwhile, Real Sociedad striker Sadiq will lead the attack after he was snubbed for Serie D against the Black Stars. The game is slated for the Grand Stade de Marrakesh and will kick off 9 p.m. Nigerian time. Yes, tell them the King of Sport told you so. 9 p.m. is when that match is going to start, when the Super Eagles take on the Eagles of Mali. All right, let's go talk female football. We love our Super Falcons. They are 9 times African champions. You cannot but talk about these ladies. They are super amazing. All right, let's tell you that Coach Randy Waldrum has extended invitations to Captain Rasheedat Ajibade, a US-based African queen Azizat Oshuala, and high-riding goalkeeper Chiamaka Nadozie, the best goalkeeper in Africa, among a group of 22 players for the two-legged Paris Olympics final qualifying fixture against the Bayana of South Africa next month. Meanwhile, Saudi Arabia-based defender Ashley Plumpe and veteran rear guard Osinachi Ohale are also called, as well as youthful midfielder Deborah Abiodun and forward Esther Okoronkwo. That's the lineup of the players invited to the national team. From the goalkeeper, we can see Chiamaka Nadozie there from Paris in France. And we can see the midfielders there. Deborah Abiodun plays for University of Pittsburgh in the USA. It tells you the quality of team. And we've got SL Benfica from Portugal. That's Christy Ucheibe. And we've got Juventus ladies there. Jennifer Ichejini. These Super Falcons are super amazing. You can see the lineup. It tells you the quality that we've got in the Super Falcons team. No wonder they are 9 times African champions. Let's look at facing Bayana of South Africa. South Africa has been an Achilles for the Super Eagles, beating us several times. How tough is this fixture? Super Falcons against the Bayana of South Africa.
It's actually going to be a tough one, but the Super Falcons are getting themselves ready because this is an all-important game
to qualify for
the Olympics.
So we've not been there for years.
Yes, we've not been there for years. So these ladies know what's at stake, and then they're actually willing to put it all out and then go for the kill and then get the win and then get to qualify. That's why, the coach actually even invited Shukirat Oladipo, who is a defender for the Super Falcons. She did amazingly well, and then he saw that she's going to fit in well with the Super Falcons. So that's why she got an invite. This is her first invite to come play with the Super Falcons. So we're all looking out for her and then looking out for the Super Falcons as well, because the match will be played here in Abuja and we are hoping to get a win at home. So it wouldn't be much of a pressure if we go to South Africa to play.
All right, we wish our darlings Super Falcons the very best as they look to qualify for the Olympics, and we know they can get the job done. They are 9 times African champions. It's no mean feat. All right, let's talk about one star player. He plies his trade in Italy, and he has his hair colored. Okay, it's yellow, whatever you tend to call it, but he's not that person. But from his name, Victor Osimhen, your guess is as good as mine. And the big story tells us that transfer speculations swaying around the Nigerian international striker Victor Osimhen has yet assumed another dimension after each of the trio, Arsenal, Chelsea, Paris Saint-Germain, are reportedly ready to table a staggering 90 million euros. Oh boy, for Napoli star striker. Now I feel like being a striker. Several Italian outlets claim Napoli president Aurelio De Laurentiis could accept a bid below the striker's release clause, said to be around 113 million pounds. When the Nigerian ace signed a one-year extension last December, but citing a report in the Martino newspaper Football Italia has reported that Napoli are prepared to part company with Osimhen at the end of the season, with Chelsea, Arsenal, and Paris Saint-Germain each ready to offer 90 million pounds. Let's look at, according to report, Osimhen is fed up with the Serie A giants and is looking forward to leaving the Stadio Maradona. Do you think what team is best for Victor Osimhen?
What team? That's a very bad. The Chelsea fan is just clamoring Chelsea.
Is that the name of a drink in Nigeria?
Well, there's a drink named Chelsea in Nigeria, but we're not talking about drinks now. But
okay, club sides.
Club sides, yes. And I thought you used to be a striker. What happened? We'll get to that later. So, Victor Osimhen.
Okay.
I would say Paris Saint-Germain because of the style of play and the qualities of those that will get him the ball. Not him running around.
Not Chelsea? Chelsea seem to have good midfielders, even though they're not at their best.
Yeah, not at their best at this point, though I'm a Chelsea fan, but he's my Nigerian brother. I would want him to come to Chelsea, but I wouldn't want him to come to Chelsea and not perform so well.
Sure.
So that would, like, you know, reduce his value and all of that. So I'm looking, I wouldn't say Manchester United, no. No, Manchester. Not Manchester United. So I would say, okay, I could just probably even maybe say Arsenal, but I would really want him to go to Paris Saint-Germain because of his style of play, the aggression, and then he's coming from Italy. The style of play in...
Well, he has said he doesn't want to go back to France because he left Lille to Napoli. Now, going back to France will seem like, well...
Well, let's see what decision he makes, but I think he might just stick to Chelsea.
PSG, like the fact that he will be going to replace Kylian Mbappe, would that be enough motivation for him to want to move back to Paris Saint-Germain?
It should be enough motivation because he's actually, he's up there, and then the person you're also going to represent, it's also a big name. So I think the number is looking good. The number on the table is looking good.
90 million euros. That's a lot.
If you should do the maths in our own beloved currency, is a whole lot. So the person he's actually going to replace, if he did go to PSG, is actually going to be Kylian Mbappe, which is actually a big name. But the thing here is, will he be able to cope with the pressure and then
of doing what
Mbappe does? Because definitely they'll be expecting the same level
of expectation. Yeah.
Yes, just look at what happened when Eden Hazard went to Real Madrid to replace Cristiano Ronaldo.
When he left Chelsea.
Yeah, when he left Chelsea to Real Madrid to replace Cristiano Ronaldo. The hype was...
But wasn't that a miscalculation?
I was wondering how they were even placed. At that point, Hazard was doing so well at Chelsea.
Yeah, he was on fire.
He was on fire. But when he left Chelsea to Real Madrid, I just don't know what happened. He just...
It's too much Spanish stuff.
Probably. So that's it. But I'll just, I wish Victor Osimhen the best, and I just wish he goes somewhere that he'll be very comfortable to play football and then keep scoring goals and just feel very relaxed and just...
All right, we hope he does the best, but France has always been a good hunting ground for Victor Osimhen. He played 125 games for Lille in France and scored as much as 72 goals. So who says if he gets to Paris Saint-Germain, he will not score more goals? All right, that's for Victor Osimhen. We wish him the very best. I mean, he makes his decision. We're still talking about football in France, and the France boss is in the news this morning. Let's say that Didier Deschamps has insisted William Saliba continues to struggle to break into the France's starting lineup because he is shaky. International displays haven't gone well. The defender has enjoyed a superb season with Arsenal to date and played an integral role in the title charge for Mikel Arteta's Premier League leaders, but his fortunes at club level are a stark contrast with his Le Blues' woes, with the likes of Dayo Omapenko, Benjamin Pavard favoured over him. Saliba was an unused substitute in France's 2-0 friendly defeat by Germany at the weekend and has started just 2 of his nation's last 18 fixtures. He could be in line for feature against Chile on Tuesday, that's today, in a rotated 11, but Deschamps has defended his decision to restrict him to a beat part role. Saliba has made 38 appearances across all competitions for Arsenal this season, but has featured just 12 times on the international stage since his debut in 2022. Do you think there's some players, we hear that some players are just good for club sides, but when it comes to the national team, they still have too much butterflies in their stomach to deliver the goods? Do you think probably Deschamps is not showing Saliba enough faith, and that's why he seemed to get shaky when it comes to international duty?
You know, like, we all need different kind of motivations, right? Even the players, we all need different kind of motivations. So him now as a player, he needs to perform and show that, yes, I can do this. What I'm doing on my club side, in my club side, I can still perform at that same level in the countryside. But if you don't show up, you know, and perform with that confidence that, yes, I can do this during the training, obviously the coach wouldn't want to, you know, start you. He'll just like, okay, I can see what you can do during the training. That means I'm going to limit you to just maybe coming off the bench. But if you prove to the coach that, yes, I can do more than just coming off the bench, starting, obviously a reasonable coach that have seen the quality and seen what you're bringing to the team would want to give you that opportunity. And again, I always say that at this time, most teams are actually, both club side, country side, they're all rebuilding because everybody is building up a team that
towards the World Cup.
Towards the World Cup. So no coach will want to bring a player that is slacking, that is not giving his best. You know, this kind of driving towards the case between Christian and Kobe Manu.
Eriksen in yes, Manchester United.
So that's just what the scenario is at this point. So every coach now is actually looking out for the best, getting the best who would come and then give it all and then deliver the goals. So if you're not on that level, Don Antonio, you yourself wouldn't even want to start the person.
All right, let's go there. All right, so we wish William Saliba, I didn't see that coming, but we wish Saliba the very best, and we hope the quality, probably the quality in the French team gets him shaking every time he's in the national jersey, but we hope with time it's going to go well. Let's take you to Stamford Bridge, where the big story, yes, we're having so much Chelsea news this morning, probably because my co-anchor is a Chelsea fan. All right, let's move on to the big story. That former Chelsea chief executive, Marina Granovsky, is facing questions over what she knew about the secret of the off-book payment allegedly made under the ownership of Roman Abramovich. Details of millions of pounds in fees, including a payment to Eden Hazard's agent, emerged last year as part of the crack of a leaked document known as the Cyprus Confidential Files. According to The Guardian, the document appeared to show Granovsky was aware of the payment of Hazard's agent, John Biko, as well as fees related to the transfers of William and Samuel Eto'o to Chelsea. It also has been reported that offshore companies connected to Abramovich made personal loans to Granovsky worth £7.5 million to buy a house in Fulham, as well as £1.63 million payment for financial tasks and legal diligence. Granovsky left Chelsea within 2 weeks of Todd Boehly and Clear Lake Capital completing their takeover in May 2022 and received £35 million for her part in the sale. Oh boy, she's made for life. Granovsky has not commented in a separate development. Granovsky's role at Chelsea is set to be scrutinized in court case next month involving agent Sav Ruby, who has been charged with malicious communications following an email sent to her over this disputed fee. Oh boy. £35 million. Why would she speak? She's going to just go silent, go to Ibiza and just chill.
She's probably on an island now, chilling somewhere.
I can't hear nothing.
I can't hear nothing. I don't have reception on drive.
Well, let's look at Abramovich. We know his era was always dubbed with a lot of controversies.
True.
But if this thing goes through, Chelsea is likely to suffer some sanctions. But for you, Todd Boehly buying over Chelsea and Granovsky leaving the way she left without much furies or falls, and also Peter Cech also leaving without much hue and cry. Do you think truly there were some illegal payments made? We talked about Eden Hazard and how he went to Real Madrid. Now we're hearing his agents got some kind of illegal fees paid to him. How do you say this playing out? Because we know the financial fair play and anything that has to do with financial infractions, retrospective punishment do come to play.
Yeah, those punishments do come to play. And you know, like you said, rightly said, the era of Abramovich has been a whole lot of, back and forth. There are even rumors that are saying money that he used in getting Chelsea was illegal money and all of that. All of that. So them leaving the way they left, I would talk about Todd Boehly first. You need to make investigations first before you buying into a club, because this is a big brand already. So definitely any kind of funds that comes and goes out from that organization is definitely going to be, looked into. So he probably did not make proper investigations, and the way, Granovsky left, it's now, even if if it's not tied to her, maybe no corruption act tied to her, but the way that in which he left, when a new person just comes into play, is actually going to, put them out there on the line, saying that, okay, you're obviously aware about what's going on. So I would say investigations obviously will be carried on. So when investigations are being carried out, definitely we'll get the facts of what the whole scenario is, and then know if this said amount is actually with her, and then she's chilling someone.
Okay, then you go for her as soon as we finish this game, this program. All right, let's give you more big stories making the round, and we're still talking business in world of sport, and we're looking at one player, Anthony Rudiger, this time around, and not the other one. Okay, let's tell you that Anthony Rudiger and the German Football Association are taking legal action after the German star was linked to a terrorist organization. Earlier this month, Rudiger, a devout Muslim, posted a photo on Instagram of himself in a white robe on a prayer mat, pointing the index finger of his right hand towards the sky with a greeting for Ramadan. May the Almighty accept our fasting and prayers. On Sunday, former Bild editor Julian Richter posted on X, for everyone who doesn't want to recognize Anthony Rudiger's Islamic greeting as an Islamic greeting, the Federal Office for the Protection of the Constitution calls this gesture IS finger and sees the index finger as a clear sign of Islamism. Now Rudiger has filed a criminal complaint with the Berlin Public Prosecutor's Office, and the DFB has also reported the case to the Central Office for Combating Internet Crime of the Frankfurt and Main Public Prosecutor's Office. The Real Madrid star feels vilified and slandered for an Instagram photo at the beginning of the Islamic fasting month of Ramadan. When asked, Rudiger said he did not want to comment on Monday evening. Let's look at this. Here we've got the editor saying this is an IS. We know ISIS is a very... They already proscribed the group for their terrorism against the world. And if Rudiger did this deliberately, then they have the right to investigate Rudiger if he's got links with Islamic terror organization.
Yes, if this, index pointing is actually a sign that, so he should just be investigated, obviously. He should just be investigated so we would know. And then sanctions and whatever action that needs to be taken for things like this being happening, should be taken. So we won't just be taken unawares. Probably people.
Besides, he could do any other signs. He could put his hands together.
Yeah, he could put his hands together. But I don't know why they are so particular about the index finger. And this is Ramadan season, and this is the Ramadan period. Obviously, he was probably sending love out to his Muslim brothers and sisters, in the spirit of Ramadan. So,
but can we blame him, or can he feign ignorance of not knowing that when that sign is made, is an ISIS sign, regardless of...
a whole lot of persons wouldn't know that that's an ISIS sign. Probably he knows, probably he doesn't, right? So it's just left for the investigators to investigate, to find out, and then get to the root of it.
All right, we hope that the needful will be done. Let's take you to Manchester. Old Trafford is where we're taking you to, and the story there might be exciting for some Manchester United fans, as let's let you know that Erik ten Hag is set to end his stay of execution at Manchester United, with Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos planning for him to remain in charge next season, according to report. The under-pressure manager helped ease speculation over his future after steering United to a dramatic FA Cup quarter-final victory against Liverpool a week ago, a result that has set a showdown against Championship side Coventry at Wembley. That win clinched by Amad Diallo last gap goal has almost certainly rescued Ten Hag and ensured he will be imposed until the summer. But let's look at how important that win was for Ten Hag. And does this automatically mean Ten Hag is good enough to see United through? And what does this news mean?
Well, one, I'm happy for him that they were able to, Manchester United and the fans, that they were able to get to this stage in the FA Cup. But there's another thing now. The Ratcliffe is actually a businessman. I wouldn't be surprised if Ten Hag loses and then he gets immediately a termination letter. You know, so this is actually a good start for him. So I just hope that the team and him himself and the players, they continue winning, because if he doesn't win and keep performing, I'm sure
he's likely to go.
He's likely to go.
All right, let's look at one man who is already sure of going, and his name is Dani Alves. He has said the disgrace, that's how they term him, but I want to say, talking about Dani Alves, has been released from prison. Yes, that's the big news coming from Spain, that Dani Alves has been released from prison this afternoon after depositing €1 million. Bail bond. There's nothing money can do. The footballer is also understood to have complied with the order, with other orders of the 3 judges who said he could leave jail despite his recent rape conviction by handing in his Spanish and Brazilian passport. The 40-year-old father of 2 was freed just before the expected time of around 5 p.m. local time. As part of his bail conditions, Alves will also have to visit the court once a week to keep his freedom. He had been told he could leave Brains 2 prison near Barcelona last Wednesday after winning his bid to appeal for his 4.5-year jail sentence from the comfort of his own home rather than a cell. But his failure to get together the bail bond meant he remained behind bars over the weekend. Alves' lawyer, Inês Guardiola, has said the Brazilian has 2 bank accounts in Spain, one with no balance and the other with €51,000, approximately £44,000, with a judicial seizure of €50,000. That's talking about £43,000. Guardiola claimed last year that her client is broke and has a negative bank balance of £70,000, despite reportedly once having a fortune of £47 million. Well, where's the money?
Valid question. Where's the money?
Oh, boy. But good news that Dani Alves is out of jail.
Okay, I wouldn't ask that question. Good news that he's out of jail, but I'm just wondering, what happened to the money? I thought I said I wouldn't ask the question, but I can't just help it. Well,
47
million, and he's now broke. So that is actually, wow, it's just something. But it's, you know, it's actually so much that rape and all of that is woven around Brazil of late. You know, Robinho also got jailed 9 years for the same
Antonio,
for the same
crime. Yeah.
So I'm just wondering what's actually going on with them. They have all the fame, and they have all the fame, they have all the money, they're married with kids, and then they still go out, and you know, the courts can't be lying. So for them to be found guilty, that means they actually did the crime. But this is something like that should be looked into by the, you know, by FIFA and every other body, not to find a way to, you know,
protect the players,
and then maybe they should go for seminars or training outside, training on the football pitch, training on how to, you know,
so
be celebrities.
The club side probably have to do more.
Yes, I think they should do more, because they should go through seminars and training for them to, you know, represent the club and then society properly, because of their role models. A whole lot of up-and-coming kids that want to be footballers are actually looking up to them. So with reports like this coming up, it's not telling good, and then no parents will want a child to be looking at, you know, a rapist as a role model.
All right, that was strong, the rapist. All right, we'll go for a very quick break. When we return from the break, we'll be looking at other stories. We've got Vinicius Junior crying as regards racism going on. And Manu, a Black Star player, now he's becoming a Three Lion, talking about Ghana losing a star player to England. I'll be looking at that story and other stories making the rounds when we come back from this break. Stay with us. All right, Manchester United star Kobe Manu, 18 years old, has played just 20 minutes for England, and he's already claimed a honor before 80-cap legend Gary Lineker. That's the big story hitting us this morning. Let's tell you that teenager Kobe Manu has played just 20 minutes for the Three Lions of England, and he's already claimed an honor before 80-cap legend Gary Lineker. The Manchester United midfielder continued his stunning rise by making his senior Three Lions debut against Brazil on Saturday. Let's tell you that the 18-year-old had made just 23 appearances for Erik ten Hag side before taking to Wembley in the 1-0 defeat. Manu was handed a commemorative England legacy cap by Gary. Yes, that's the cap there. It's called the commemorative England legacy cap by Gareth Southgate to mark the occasion. England adopted the tradition of legacy numbers to mark the team's 1,000th game in November 2019, with debutants only receiving caps from September 2021 onwards. As a result, hundreds of former England players have had to wait to receive for their historical exploit. Alan Shearer was honored with his own while in attendance at Wembley for the Brazil friendly, but former strike partner Gary Lineker, who scored 48 goals in 80 outings for the Three Lions, is still without one. Upon seeing a clip of Manu receiving his legacy cap, Lineker said on his Rest IS football podcast, which he co-hosted with Shearer and Michael Richard, he says that three of us all had a special treat on Saturday night. Manu's international career is now up and running, and he could be in line for his first start on Tuesday when England hosts Belgium in their final game before Southgate names his squad for the summer's Euro. How lucky is this young man?
Lucky for Manu, unlucky for Ghanaians.
Yeah.
So you see what I was saying earlier. The level at which this kid performs, it's what's, the result.
The call-up to the Three Lions national team.
Yeah, he just played 23 games, and then 23 games
for Manchester United.
It's enough for him to even get a call-up to, the Three
and
Lions.
Making his debut.
Now, he's making his debut after the first match. Now, he's having an opportunity to start today.
And they are giving him the commemorative card, while legends like Lineker, who played in the 1994 World Cup, are yet to receive. He's damn lucky.
I would say he's lucky. And then the work ethics he's putting in, it's actually paying off. Maybe all of those hours he spent in the gym, on the field, working out and doing all of those trainings is obviously paying off now, and then we're seeing the result. I don't know why the Ghanaians allowed him to just slip off like that. They didn't even put up a fight.
They were postponing, thinking they were doing African time.
African time.
But I think the English team knew the quality he has.
Yes.
If you watch Manu play, he reminds you of Clemens Seedorf of Holland. They're good with the ball on their feet. They have vision. They pass with a very precise kicks. So he's precise. He knows how to break plays. He's good with killer passes, and he knows how to shift attention from defenders and also open space for attacking players. So I think he's got quality that the Three Lions are missing. There was a reporter this morning from the UK which came to us saying that he is the missing link the Three Lions have been waiting for. Someone who's going to be the link between the attack and the defense for the Three Lions. So we wish Manu the very best of luck, and we hope he's going to have a lot of playing time in the Three Lions.
Obviously, he's with all this stuff going on around him and then the support that he's getting, he's obviously going to get enough playing time. He's going to be playing in line with Declan Rice and a whole lot of quality players as well that will also help him boost his career. So I'm just so happy for the young man for everything that he has been able to accomplish in this short time. So we're looking out for him, and definitely, he's definitely...
The sky is just a beginning pointer for the man Manu. All right, we have some other big stories. Let's tell you about this. This for England fans. The big story here says thousands of football fans have been banned from traveling. Yes, from following England at this summer's European Championship that's going to hold in Germany under the government clampdown on hooligans. Over 16,000 fans with football banning orders will be forced to surrender their passports to the police from 4th June until the European Championship final on 14 July to ensure they do not attempt to attend matches in Germany. Anyone failing to hand in their passport or attempting to travel to Germany will face large fine or prison term with a maximum sentence of 6 months. And the new powers to enforce fans to surrender passport have been introduced following a surge in football-related violence in recent years, with police making 2,264 arrests at matches last season and issuing 682 new banning orders, the highest figure since 2011. Football banning orders are imposed by courts following conviction for a football-related offense. This can include violence, disorder, pitch invasions, use of pro techniques, and online hate crime. Have 16,000 fans not going to Germany for Euro 2024. How much peace are we likely to see in Germany?
I think
especially knowing that Germany, the
beer factor.
There's that beer factor, and the English fans, they love beer a lot. And in Germany, they drink their beer with a large glass.
Yeah, really large.
So that's how much is it going to help us have a better... I can see my cameraman Nicholas smiling from teeth to teeth when he saw the large...
actually, hopefully, you know, a lot of hooliganism have been going on in football, in club side and the countryside. So I'm actually, you know, it's a welcome development. Hopefully, you know, they are cutting down 16,000. So 16,000 are not
when
just
you
from
said welcome development, I saw like a twitch here. I was like, for them.
For them, yes. You know, so it's a welcome development for them. Hopefully, this is going to help keep the peace and quiet. And then people will just come, play football, and then drink a little bit of beer. And then,
because what's football without the German, you know?
And they take beer with, they watch football with beer and cheese. I don't even know how they tend to have that mixture together, but that's a topic for another day. So I'm just hoping that with this now, they will be able to, we'll be able to have peace, and then we won't be reporting incidents of violence because you know, we need peace in the world.
Yeah, truly, and we know one cameraman. His what's his name again? He's the only man on blue shirts. All right, let's move on to other talking points. We've got Angel Di Maria, who is wearing a blue jersey, like the cameraman behind the scene. Angel Di Maria's family received a death threat as Argentina star is warned not to come back to Rosario. That's the big story we are sharing with you this morning, that Argentina for Angel Di Maria received a threat at his family home on the outskirts of Rosario earlier Monday morning. Local media reported amid a wave of drug-related violence in the city, where Lionel Messi also hails from. The message comes a week after Di Maria, currently playing for Portuguese champions Benfica, said he would like to end his career at boyhood club Rosario Central. Local media reports said a car left a sign in front of the private neighborhood where the 36-year-old usually stays, addressed to Di Maria family, saying, "Not even the provincial governor, Maximiliano Polaro, could guarantee their safety if he returns to the city." Rosario, site of one of the world's largest agro-port hubs, has seen intense increase in violence by drug trafficking groups, as the city is, according to experts, a potential outlet for illegal drugs to other countries. Di Maria, let's also let you know, Di Maria left his boyhood club Rosario back in 2007 after playing for 36 games for Rosario Central before signing for Benfica, where he made 125 appearances in 3 years. He then left Portugal to join Spanish giants Real Madrid before later moving to Manchester United, Paris Saint-Germain, Juventus, and then returning back to Benfica. Let's look at, do you think this is deliberate by some fans, club sides in Rosario, who doesn't want him because they believe if the Angel Maria comes to Rosario, Rosario is going to become better, and so deny them club honors, and so they're just playing smart? Or do you think this threat is real?
One, actually, I'm actually looking at it from two lights. One, the threat might be real, or it might just be, you know, overzealous fans.
Semantics, just to prevent him from coming
back home and all. So I think this should be looked into very critically. Yeah, there should be investigated. There should be serious investigation. Actually, it should be going on already, because now it's a very huge threat for you to even, for whoever to say that the governor of cannot even save you. That's
a big one. That's a strong one.
Yeah, that's a very strong one. They say they don't leave papers; they leave bullets. Those are, you know, very incriminating, mafian, kind of drug stuff. So I think they should be really investigated. They should investigate this so well so his family and his life, you know, should be safe and protected, because all of this going on now, I don't think, you know, overzealous fans will just, you know, come out to like say things like this. I feel it's way more than what we're saying.
All right, we hope the very best for him. But let's give you the story about a Brazilian player. His name is Gabigol. He's hit with a 2-year suspension for alleged anti-doping testing fraud, with the Flamengo striker said to be banned from. So the story, cutting it short, is Flamengo striker Gabigol has been suspended for 2 years for alleged anti-doping test violation and may not return until 2025, according to reports. The forward, whose real name is Gabriel Barbosa, was allegedly tried by anti-doping sports court in Brazil on Monday and banned at the conclusion of the case. And that's. Do we say this good news or bad news for the player?
It's bad news for the player, because you're being banned out 2 years out of your career. Yeah. Probably, if you're 25, you'll be 27 at that point. If you're 28, you'll be 30, and then you will definitely lose some form and then value, obviously. Yeah, so it's actually
no club want to sign you on?
No club will want to sign you on with, with that history. So I think he should just go get clean and then stay off those pills.
All right, very sad commentary. We're still talking news from Brazil. Let's talk about this player. His name is Vinicius Junior. Broke down in tears as he was asked about racist abuse he has suffered in Spain. The 23-year-old was speaking at Real Madrid's training ground where Brazil had trained ahead of his evening friendly against Spain in the Santiago Bernabeu. Let's look at this quickly. Vinicius Junior, I think, would you say the Spanish community has been fair to him? He has continuously suffered racist abuse more than any other Brazilian or black player in the La Liga.
The abuse he suffers comes, because one, he's a very good player.
True.
He's a very good player.
Out of envy.
Out of envy. When he comes out of
his vibe.
Yeah, he comes out of envy. They try to kill his vibe. And whenever, he's on the news, he's actually on the news for the fact that people are being racist, towards him. So all of this now should be looked into and then pay more attention. I know it's way beyond taking a kneel before the match starts. Heavy fines should come on players, on fans. Yes, just like in the basketball era. If you just, say a word that is not right to the player, you get banned from coming to watch a game in that stadium. So I think some certain level of fines and punishment should be put in place for both players and fans.
Sure, and club sides.
And club sides too, because all of this it's not healthy. It's not going to give us the peace that we want in the game.
All right, we'll take one more story before quality wrap. So plenty stories there to go, but let's take this one before quality wrap. For Chelsea fans, I know they're very happy. Former Chelsea and Arsenal defender Ashley Cole has been inducted into the Premier League Hall of Fame in recognition of his glittering career in the English top flight. That's very true. The left backer won 3 league titles during 15 seasons and is widely considered to be the best player to play the position in the Premier League history. Take that to the bank. Cole was part of the historic Gunners team that went entirety of 2003-2004 campaign unbeaten, his second league crown before winning further title in the West London with the Blues. Chelsea in the 2009-2010 season. He joins fellow Arsenal Invisibles Tony Adams, Dennis Beckham, Sol Campbell, Patrick Vieira, Thierry Henry in the Hall of Fame, as well as ex-Chelsea stars like Peter Cech, Didier Drogba of Africa. I wanted to say Nigeria. Oh, stealing Didier Drogba from Cote d'Ivoire, and Frank Lampard. Let's tell you that the 43-year-old broke through his boyhood club Arsenal under the tutorship of Arsene Wenger, and his first Premier League title came in the double-winning 2001-2002 season. Yes, that's the man there. Ashley Cole, no doubt one of the best number 3s I've ever played the Premier League. And he did it amazing for Arsenal and also went to Chelsea, repeated the same feat. He's definitely one of the best number 3s we've ever seen in world football. Yeah,
very, very, very good player and well-deserved, well-deserved. Ashley Cole, during his days as a player, he was amazing, as a teammate, Chelsea, even for his countryside, he was amazing all around. So congratulations to Ashley Cole on him being inducted as a Hall of Fame. And Chelsea fans, we will just keep smiling. That's a win, even if we don't get a trophy this season.
I can't believe you're celebrating the trophy you won.
Even if we don't have a trophy,
oh my God.
We have a Hall of Fame, so we are taking that to the bank.
Okay. That was all right, that's what time will allow us to take. We had stories that had to do with Formula One. I don't know if we can sneak it in, but just to let you know that Mercedes boss Toto Wolff will be absent from the next Formula One race in Japan. It is understood that Wolff's decision to miss the race in Suzuka on April 7th was taken before the start of the new season and is not connected to the team's performance in Australia. That's talking about Formula One. Toto Wolff there will be there at the Grand Prix. But that's how much time we allow us, and we're calling to a wrap on today's edition. For you, which of the stories was the best for you on today's edition?
The Kobe Manu story. He's young and talented, getting recognitions already. So I'm so happy for my African brother who was stolen. So I'm sure he'll keep making us proud, despite the fact that he's no longer with us.
All right, my best story has to be the Granovsky, the former Chelsea boss, going home with £35 million. Oh boy, that would make me more happy. All right, so that's how we continue to wrap on today's edition of the program Talk Sport on Global Television. Join us tomorrow for another what?
exciting segment.
Exciting edition of the Talk Sport.
Yes.
So it's a pleasure talking sports with you there at home, watching and being part of the best sports program on TV. Good morning.
Good morning.